Welcome back. An update to the story of Dr. Ian Roberts. He was the Des Moines, Iowa Public School Superintendent who was detained by ICE for being in the country illegally, seen here in this mugshot. He's resigned. In a letter through his attorney, Roberts said he didn't want to distract district leaders and teachers from focusing on education.
So just hours later, the Des Moines School Board unanimously voted to accept his resignation, finding he no longer was authorized to work for the district. This comes after ICE arrested him, saying the Guyana native was living and working in the country illegally. He currently faces the prospect of being deported. Laura Reese is the Director of Border Security and Immigration for the Heritage Foundation and a former DHS Acting Deputy Chief of Staff. Alfonso Aguilar is the former Chief of the U.S. Office of Citizenship. Great to have you both here. Laura, I'll start with you. Have we seen the last of Roberts? Is this guy going to finally be deported?
Yeah. Yes, ICE can easily reinstate his prior final order of removal. But one thing that this case really points out is the need to close the loop when it comes to work authorization. If work authorization expires or if the underlying immigration benefit terminates and therefore that work authorization falls, ICE and employers need to be notified right away. So one, an alien is terminated from their job, and two, ICE can then remove that person. And unfortunately, that loop is not closed as a default, and this case really shows that, and we need to fix that.
So the question, though, how do you enforce it, though? If he doesn't have any other criminal record, but he's overstayed his visa, will there be more enforcement going forward, do you think, Laura?
Well, he had quite a bit of violations. I mean, he first snuck into the country illegally. He then returned as a student. He had a prior gun violation. His work authorization expired. And he also falsely claimed to be a U.S. citizen. He also falsely claimed to have a Ph.D. So the other thing that this shows is employers need to be serious about vetting their potential hires.
That's a great point. And a reminder that read the fine print. Some work authorizations could be temporary with an expiration date. You know, if you want to hire someone with the intention of them serving in that role for several years or a decade or so, check the fine print. Yeah. Because to Laura's point, there's been some reporting about some questionable education credentials before serving as superintendent. According to the Des Moines Register, Roberts did not obtain a doctoral degree from Morgan University in Maryland, as he claimed for many years. A university spokesperson telling the Register on Monday that he didn't get the degree from the school despite attending Morgan State from the fall of 2002 through the spring of 2007. So, Alfonso, I mean, the more you learn about this person, the more you realize who was doing the vetting.
Well, as you may know, I'm not working at Defending Education, which is an education policy advocacy group. And what we're seeing is throughout the country, too many school districts putting DI hiring practices above the security and safety of students. It seems to me that they were obsessed, desperate in finding a minority hire, and they didn't do a proper job in reviewing his background. As Laura was saying, this individual lied in his job application. He said he was a U.S. citizen. It's highly likely that he submitted fraudulent supporting documents. Not only that, the school district in Des Moines doesn't use E-Verify, which is the USCIS federal online program that allows employers to check the immigration status of job applicants. So if they would have done so, they would have known that this individual was illegal. The state doesn't mandate either the use of E-Verify. The good thing about this is now that DOJ is investigating the district to determine whether they're engaging in DEI hiring practices that violate, that discriminate based on race under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Great point. Yeah. That E-Verify, right, is super crucial for all U.S. employers, actually, to check in, make sure your employees are legally here or have certain visa requirements that allow them to be employed. Mm-hmm. Laura and Alfonso, thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you both.
Thank you.